G'day Leah, here's your machine, the Breville BES860, the Barista Express. I'm sure you've seen the photos, but it's in, I would say, generally good condition. If you look at it from the front, there are some light scratches here, as you saw. Some sort of light markings here as well. I believe the previous owner tried to clean this with a Scotch-Brite sponge, and what happened is he left some markings on the stainless steel, but it's not too bad, especially when you're looking at it from this angle, from this height. On the left hand side it's generally good, one mark on the left, some paint bubbling on here as you saw in the photos, and pretty much the most obvious damage to this machine is this paint peeling off on the right hand side. Again, this part is replaceable, so in the future you can replace it if you found a machine of the same design. But yeah, generally it's pretty good. Some light scratches here as well, but I've tried my best to sort of bring it back to shape, and it's actually not too bad. Machine is turned on and it's warmed up at this stage. Usually takes about a minute, 40 seconds to a minute to turn on and warm up. It's got some water, it's got some beans, and it's ready to make a coffee. What I like to start my session with is a blank shot, so just a press of the button, the double shot button, without any coffee in it. These buttons, by the way, are programmable, so I'll teach you how to do that. You press program. Once you're happy with the volume, you press it again. So let's say I want it to be right about there. There we go. I'm going to press it again. See, the pressure gauge works fine. There we go. That's right smack dab in the middle of the espresso range. No issues whatsoever. And in case you had doubt about the sort of the internals of the machine, one way I like to test my machines is use the cleaning disc to test the machine. So this is a special cleaning disc that I have. It's absolutely blocked and it has no holes. What it'll do, it'll take the machine to its full pressure and it'll confirm that obviously the machine can handle the full pressure and that it doesn't, burst a pipe or have a bad pump or something like that. God forbid. I'm going to show you that. Screw it in. Keep it on the gauge. That's full pressure. Then you press it, it'll release it all into the drip tray. There we go. This is the same disc you should use for cleaning the machine. It'll remind you actually. It'll say clean me, and so you'll use that rubber disc and a tablet. It'll clean all the oils. Cool. So now that the handle's fully warmed up, it's ready to make a coffee. I'll grab my cup here. Actually, yeah, I'll use a plastic cup because I'm going to keep this coffee for tomorrow. So I'll transfer this hot water here. You know what? I just want you to see the coffee, so maybe I'll use a transparent cup. Let's use this one. Yeah, let's use this one. I will transfer the hot water into this cup actually, so that it's warmed up. You should keep the hot water in whatever cup you're using. It'll keep it warm and it'll obviously improve the coffee that you have. Running the blank shot also cleans the machine of any sort of oils or coffee grounds. It'll also sort of warm up the internals and the handle as well. All very important for a good coffee. What are we doing next? We're doing the grinding, so I'll grab a tissue. You should dry this area. You should dry this portafilter after doing this blank shot that I just did. When you're grinding, you want this to be absolutely dry. I've calibrated these buttons such that it's ready to go as is. So keep it at double and keep the grind size at 6. This is the grind size dial, so the higher number you go, so the higher you go in the numbers, the finer it is. It will say, if you push it this way, it'll go fine. If you push it this way, it's coarse. I've actually adjusted part of the maintenance. I've adjusted the mechanism on the inside, so it's running quite fine now. So I recommend keeping it at 6, not going sort of higher than 6 to 8. So anywhere between 4 to 8 is good. Any finer and you would be pushing the machine too far. But to be honest, it doesn't matter that much, especially with this type of filter that we're using. There's sort of 2 routes you can use with the machine, the easy route or the pro route. The easy route would probably give you about 90% of the taste. Very good results with the easy route, and obviously it's much easier, much less work and less of a headache and less time consuming. And there's a harder route. So the easy route is using these filters, which are the ones included with this machine. These are called the dual wall filters. So they have many holes here, but down there it's only got the one hole. So it's 2 walls. What that will create for us is, it'll give us pressure, even if we don't grind the correct amount or press the correct pressure with the tamper. All these factors that are really important to get a good result with the pro filters called this single wall. The good news is that you can upgrade to those when you want. So this machine sort of gives you the 2 choices. I'm using the dual wall, so as you saw, they created pressure for us even when there was no coffee in the handle. And that's simply because there's only one hole. So all these holes are confined and narrowed down to this one hole. That's what gives us the pressure. That means you just grind, pretty much try to tamp it in whatever way you can and put it in. It'll give you a decent coffee. The same goes for the steamer. So there's sort of an easy way to steam and there's a difficult way. So you could use this, they call it a frothing tube. This frothing tube goes over the actual steaming wand, which is here. So this is pretty much what baristas use. It's just a metal tube, a metal wand with the hole down there. When you put this, it creates this space and it creates it gives a chance for the air to sort of inject into the milk. So you can use this tube. It'll help you with frothing. But again, if you wanted to practice the pro way of making coffee, you can just take it out and steam the milk this way. Personally, I do it this way, but you have the option of using it with a tube. Cool. There it is. Obviously, you need to take this out every time you froth. I really recommend that. What will I do now? Let's grind. So keep it at double. You can keep it at single if you want to grind really small quantities, but double one is what I found to be correct. So I have a scale here. You really don't need a scale, but I have a scale just to be consistent with the machines that I work on. I'm going to calibrate my scale here and grind once, and then tamp it, and then grind again. That's how you get a double. You can keep it at double, and that's for strength. You can keep it at double and press it only once if you're using the single cup basket, which also comes here. There's also some cleaning tools, the Allen key and a scoop. I will gingerly drain the water here, so I've actually forgot to empty this. Let's see what that gives us. That's about 10 grams. So you can probably dial it down to 6 o'clock. So grind them out at 6 o'clock, grind size at number 6. I think that's pretty easy, 6 and 6. So yeah, that's about 10 grams. Double shots are 18 grams of ground coffee. Could be a little bit too much. Let's see. That's about 19 grams. So a really easy way to gauge if you've got the right quantity, or sort of ensure you get the right quantity, after you tamp, sorry, let me rephrase. After you grind, just get your finger and sort of try to, let me do it this way. Spread it around so that it's the coffee covers up to the edge, and then any excess coffee you just scrape it off. See that? You won't have to do this step, by the way, if you reduce this a little bit. So it's at 6 o'clock, maybe if you keep it at 5 or 6. Let's keep it at 5 because less doesn't really hurt. This way you will get the correct amount. And once you have it sort of flat, just press it down firmly. It should go. You should go as deep as this silver part on the tamper. This is sort of a good rule of thumb that I've always known. And Breville recommends this as well. So when you press down, make sure the tamper goes as deep as the silver part. About 7 millimeters from the edge, from the top. This is what it looks like. So also keep in mind, you need this surface to be flat and not sort of at an angle. Ensure there's no holes or gaps. So it's pretty simply just grind, tamp, grind again, tamp again, and polish it. So twist it, make sure there's no inconsistencies. I'm just being overly detailed just to teach you how to do it. It's not that difficult. You just press it and go. Especially with this type of basket, like I said, it's sort of the newbie, the beginner basket. It's very, very forgiving. Once it's ground, I'm going to clean the edge, and I'm going to put it here. Twist it all the way up until you start getting some pressure. Don't force it if it's too much pressure because you will break something in there. So once you can move it with 2 fingers, that's about it. If you need your whole hand, then that's way too tight. Don't use entire body weight, just about 2 fingers. So usually that's at 6 o'clock here or at 5 o'clock here. Cool, let's grab the cup. You want to add any sugar, any hazelnut, sweetener at this stage before the espresso. I'm going to calibrate the button for you. So keep an eye on the gauge. Usually with this basket, you're aiming for about in the middle of this grey range. As long as it's roughly within the range, it should be good. If you pack the handle too much and if you overly fill it with coffee and press it hard, that might exceed the pressure limit on this machine. Don't push this machine too far. Don't add too much coffee to the handle. It's never a good idea. So this is how I programmed it. Program, then press. I'm going to do it what I think is correct. But obviously it's up to your judgment, how long or how short you want your coffees. So I'm going to stop it right there. I think that's about 40 grams. I'm going to let it drip. Should be about 40 grams. That's 36, perfect. So 18 grams in, 36 grams out. That's a 2-to-1 ratio. Let me just confirm that. So if you do this again, it should give you roughly the same volume because this machine does have a volume sensor. Okay. If you press it again, it should give you the same volume. There we go. Here's the coffee. It's got the crema, it's got the body. Usually, I don't know, baristas get the spoon and mix it around. I'm not sure why. But yeah, swirl it around, that would be a good idea to mix it. Looks good to me. And let's see what this gave us. About 40, a little bit more. So yeah, it's got the water sensor, so more or less, usually it will give you the same volume. That's the espresso part done. What else? Let's do the milk now. So you should take this out, knock it out. Cool. A good habit as well is to run a blank shot after, so that will clean up your group head and it'll clean up the handle as well in one motion. You can rinse it in the sink, but you should also wipe this as well. That's all done. And put it upside down to dry. Let's do the milk part. So turn on the steamer. Usually it takes about, I'd say 20 seconds to turn on. So you need to switch from coffee to steam. So turn it on, wait, give it a few seconds, and even after turning it on, giving it more time will make it stronger. Pretty typical of this machine. You can use this tube or not. I'm going to keep it for the demonstration if you want, because I guess that's how it's designed to be. I'm going to grab my milk now. So turn it off, get your milk jug, and sort of create a swirl, like a swirling vortex. You can actually do this as well. Once you can't touch the milk with your hand, that's when you stop the steamer. It's getting warmer. It's getting really frothy now, which is good. It's close to a cappuccino actually. So I can still touch it. And now I can't touch it, so I'm going to stop it. I'm going to quickly grab a wet towel. I want to wipe this ASAP. Give the machine a purge as well, so just turn on the steamer to get rid of the milk. There we go, that's good. Here's my towel, I'm going to wipe this straight away. Pull it out and rinse it in the sink as well. Wipe the internal wand as well. This is very, very important. A lot of people don't do this and it ends up sticking there forever, and it's a real mess and a hassle to take it out later on. So the sooner you do it, the easier. And it'll also keep your internals sort of healthy, because if you block it, you might one day turn on the steamer, this is blocked, and you might damage the machine somehow. So just keep this clean. After you do the milk, clean it ASAP, rinse this ASAP, and give it a purge. So just turn on the steamer until you can see steam or water coming out. So this is what I'm going to do now. There we go. No more milk, it's clean on the inside. I'm happy. The machine will cool down now and go back to coffee mode. You'll see the buttons light on. Cool, now it's ready to make another coffee. Put this back, and now the machine is ready to make another coffee. Cool. I hope you enjoy it. It's a very good starting point to good coffee making at home. Here's the milk, very bubbly, oh my god. You want to swirl it around. And I don't know if I told you about the quantity. So on most jugs you'll have a spout, especially on the Breville. You have a spout, and you want to fill the milk up to the spout. On my personal jug, the spout is all the way here, so that's not as helpful. So I pretty much filled it halfway with full cream milk, cold full cream milk, that's best. And after I'm done, I'm just going to swirl it around like that. Tap it down if there are any bubbles. Mix it up. And then put it into the espresso. There we go. It's a very hearty cup of espresso. Don't leave the espresso sitting out too long, and don't leave the milk to cool down. The sooner you finish this, the better it'll taste, and the hotter it will be, obviously. So let me taste that. Tastes good. I just forgot to add sugar. Hope you enjoy your machine. That's it from me. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me, and I'll see you very soon. Cheers.